Appreciate you coming out. Exciting time around the building. You know, one thing about college football is when you start your second semester, as a head coach, you get to meet with your squad, and then you get all fired up to be with them, and then you got to go on the road recruiting for 2 weeks. So this is the first week back with our own team, and it's been awesome. We're getting to work with them today. We had a team workout, which was good, and so it's fun to get back to work, and it's always cool to see now you're with the 2022 version of the team, minus some of the freshmen that'll be here come the summer. So excited. I think the momentum is certainly going in the right direction, and we just need to keep building, you know, one day at a time, one chop at a time, and our guys are definitely doing a good job with that. So with that, why don't I throw it, Keith? What do you got? Oh, where's Keith? Where's Sarge? He didn't make it. He didn't make it. He's investigating somewhere. I got you. All right. We'll open up to questions.
Greg, I guess with the 4 offensive line transfers, do you feel that you, and the guys you obviously brought in December, do you feel that you guys are finally in that spot where you have the depth and the talent to kind of move forward at that position?
Well, that was certainly the aim, right? I'll let you know. I really think they're impressive players, but until you coach them and until they get into your system, you can't really ever know, right? But certainly we didn't sign them not to play. I mean, they're coming, and we're counting on them to play.
Can you just talk about some of the coaching changes you made since the season?
Well, yeah, I mean, we've had some things today. You know that we named Damir Shaw receivers coach, and I'm really excited about that. You know, Taekwon decided that it was time. You know, and it's strange. People wonder what's going on. I've known Ty for half of his adult life, right? I recruited him out of high school, his career here. I signed him down in Tampa. He played for me for 2 years, and then brought him back here, and he coached. And, you know, there's nothing but love there for him. He's been a great representative of Rutgers and a great friend to me. But sometimes guys feel like they need to spread their wings and fly from the nest. And, you know, again, nothing but love unless we're playing them. Then it's different.
Greg, just with Taj Harris and Sean Ryan, what did you like about those two guys, and I guess what makes them the right fit for what you were trying to do?
Well, they're both, you know, older, experienced receivers, and I felt like we needed to. I think we have some really good young receiver prospects in the room. They just have to grow and develop. And when you play in the Big Ten Conference and you play an out-of-conference schedule like we have, there's not time to grow and develop right out of the gate. Now, some of them will progress during spring and summer and be ready to go, but you don't know that, whereas what the portal gives you the opportunity to do is go address needs in your current lineup, and I feel like that's really what we use the transfer portal for. Every once in a while, do you get a young player that maybe's, you know, just wants to be home and you think he's worth developing? Sure, but that's a one-off, at least for our program. To me, a lot of the use of the portal is for addressing need.
On that line, do you look at now teams have portal classes every, you know, do you grade a portal class on what they do that season? Like, do you have to be able to know, is it an instant impact thing more than, because some of these guys have more than 1 year of eligibility?
Yeah, I guess it all depends on what each team's portal philosophy is. If you're bringing a lot of portal guys home that are younger players, then I don't think you can grade them on a 1 year. But if they only have 1 year of eligibility to play, and then I guess you can, because that's all you got them for. So I think every situation is different, and really every player is different. But again, in our program, if we bring a portal guy in, it's because there's a need, 90% of the time.
Speaking of portal guys, you brought some interior guys, and can you just talk about them, DiRenzo and Dunlap, Schiafone?
Yeah, I mean, I think it all goes with the theme of the offensive line, right? I've spoke to you guys from the beginning that was certainly an area that was needed to develop, and I think that we have not developed quickly enough there, and that hurt us in our seasons, both seasons. Do I hope that this, you know, we brought in 7 freshman linemen. Some of them are here now, some will come in June. Those are the future. But there's a small gap between the future and the 2022 season and that was the purpose of all of those portal linemen.
Kind of off of that too, how important is it to kind of develop competition within that unit, and that they're pushing each other for those roles, and just kind of to have that depth that we're able to do that?
No, Chris, that's exactly it, and that's it in our whole program right now. I just addressed the team. It hasn't been as competitive a room as a team, probably since we left, whatever that is, 10 years ago. But it's getting that way now. There's 3 recruiting classes in. There's, I guess, 2 portal groups that have come through. So the competitive nature in the program is climbing. It'll continue to climb. And that, to me, is the key. When Tuesday and Wednesday are the hardest days of the week, then you truly have a program. And we're not there yet, but hopefully in the future we will be.
Greg, I want to ask you more about your assistant coaching hires. I know you just mentioned Shaw, but you also hired Joe Harris-Simiak and Marquise Watson. And how much did their ties to New Jersey kind of play in the interview process?
Well, I think sometimes that's how I know them. I'm familiar with them. But in this instance, both those guys are guys that I've had my eye on for some time. They both happen to be New Jersey guys, like you said, Richie, but they're excellent coaches. They're excellent recruiters. When I talk about coaches, what am I looking for? I'm looking for guys that really, really understand how to equip players and how to inspire players. And then you need that element of being a great recruiter, right? Because that all fits together in what we have to do. We have to do all those things as coaches. There's not like a staff that goes out and recruits like in the NFL where you have your scouting department. We are it. Our assistant coaches do all the recruiting, and I think people sometimes lose sight of that. So you have to be a great recruiter, and then within your program you have to equip and inspire your players. And I think that Marquise and Joe are going to be really, really huge additions to our program. I'm very, very excited about them.
To piggyback off that a little bit, you still have an open coaching slot. Any update on that right now?
We do have an open slot, and I am moving pretty rapidly to a position where I'm going to announce that soon, as well as some other things at every level. I think when you get 2 years into it, you kind of take a look at the whole operation and you say, okay, now how do we make moves to get better? In this day and age of college football, you have to be ready to pivot all the time, whether it's players, whether it's staff, and the staffs are large, right? You have recruiting staffs, personnel staffs that are working behind the scenes. You have quality control coaches that are working behind the scenes. And I think matching them with the right position coach and matching them with recruiting staff, all of that's critical. So I've been working really, really hard on that since the bowl game, really before the bowl game, to get the right people in the right seats. The old saying, you got to get them on the bus, but you got to get them on the right seats on the bus as well. So that's really been my challenge, and I think within not too long I'll be able to make some announcements on that, but just not ready quite today.
As Richie said, obviously Joe and Marquise are from New Jersey, Demir's from Philly area. In the past, there's like a conventional wisdom you need like a guy who has Texas roots or California. Are those days kind of over now, and you can double and triple down on the region, and guys can just go all over the country?
So this is what I would tell you. If you're a good recruiter, you can recruit in Texas, California, New Jersey, Florida. It doesn't matter. And that's what I look for, is guys that can recruit anywhere. Now, do they have natural connections to areas? Sure. I mean, it's just as simple as I was in Philly with Demir, and he's driving around Philly, and there's no GPS on, right? He knows the back way to here and the back way to there. But does that make you a good recruiter? No, right? That's your familiarity. Now, your relationships might help, but really it boils down to, are you a good recruiter? What is recruiting? It's like anything else in life. It's hard work and it's relationships. So the guys that are willing to put in the time and develop relationships with the players, the coaches, and the extended community usually are pretty good recruiters.
How different is this time around for you for signing day? Because this time, 10, 12 years ago, you're waiting for letters to come in and stuff like that.
Yeah, this is very different, right? Like, they call this the signing day. They call the one in December the early signing day. I mean, really, if you're going to properly name them, December's the signing day, and this is the late signing day. So, but certainly I think we've made some great additions in today's signing, and I'm very excited about the guys that we're bringing in. There's some guys on this list that I think some can contribute sooner than others, but I think all of these guys are going to have an opportunity to contribute in some way, which to me is important. You know, as you build your roster, you just have to have quality young men, quality football players, quality student athletes, and the more of those you put together, your culture multiplies exponentially, right? It grows exponentially, and that's what we're trying to do.
Greg, you added 22 guys today. One guy specifically I want to talk about is Timmy Ward. He's a Hodgkin's lymphoma survivor. Can you tell me a little bit about the backstory here and how you identified him?
Yeah, Timmy came to us from Pennsylvania. He was an equipment manager, and a really good equipment manager, worked his tail off. And equipment managers are a very key part of our operation because to practice, you know, you have 10 position coaches, and each one of those guys has an equipment manager that works with him, that makes practice go quickly, that has the drills set up, that does different things to make it efficient. Timmy was one of those guys, and when we had walk-on tryouts, he went to the walk-on tryouts. And my coaches came back, the people that were at the tryouts, and said, you know, there's 3 or 4 guys there that we think have a chance to help, and one of them is one of our managers, Timmy Ward. I said, oh, well, that's cool. Now, we weren't ready to do anything last semester, but this semester we allowed a few guys to come out and be part of the team, and he's doing a good job. He's got a long way to go. You know, this is college football, but Big Ten football. But I think he's going to be a great addition. He was a great addition as a manager, and I think he's going to be a fine addition as a player.
Obviously, I guess last week one of the ADs said that the Big Ten's thinking about eliminating the divisions. I'm assuming you'd be a pro vote for that. Do you think that would help Rutgers?
Yeah, whether it helps or not, I am a proponent of that. I think it's better for the league, but I haven't studied it for me to be able to tell you yes or no, really. I'm so much at the stage in my career. You know, I have a belief that unless I'm going to be really involved in all the inner workings of legislation and committees and all that stuff, I don't really deserve to have a strong opinion because I don't know. I'm at the point in my career I just want to coach our team, recruit our team, and build something here at Rutgers. And it doesn't mean that I don't care about the greater good of football or anything like that. It's just the stage that I am. And, you know, if I was asked to do something for the good of the game, certainly I would do it. But I don't have enough of a knowledge to say if it's good or bad. I know what everybody says. Oh, the Big Ten, it is. The Big Ten East is the toughest division in college football, in my estimation. So if they mix it up, but I don't know what that means if they mix it up. Does that mean we're not going to play all those teams? You know, I don't worry myself with that. We get a schedule every year, and we got to be ready to go win games on that schedule. Guys, again, I appreciate you coming out. I know that there's a lot going on, but it's great to see you. And all kidding aside, Sarge did a great job on our beat for a number of years when I was here the first time, and it's been fun to be with him the couple years now. And I know he's not far off, so every once in a while, I guess he'll call us from the closet and say hello. Thanks, guys. Oh, yeah, spring game. Thanks, Mac. Didn't want to leave without that. Spring game will be on April 21st, 6:30 p.m. kickoff. It'll be on BTN Network. Looking forward to it. Thanks, guys.